question. How many of you are afraid of snakes? Raise your hand. Do you know why you're afraid of them? My theory is that most people are afraid of snakes because they don't know much about them. And I am very enthusiastic about snakes. I'm going into herpetology, and so this was a subject that I thought I would love to inform you about. So here's a little snake. Are you afraid of it? It's not real. So there's no reason to be afraid of it. There are about 3,000 different species of snake in the world. Only about 45 of those 3,000 are actually venomous and can hurt you. But because there are so many snakes, I decided to narrow down my topic to just pythons. More specifically, ball pythons. They are the smallest breed of pythons found in Africa. So they're pretty harmless. I own 2 of them. And I'm here to share with you more about them because I think that if you know more about them, you won't be as afraid of them. And that's something that I really would like more people to understand, that they really are not out to get you. Like, a lot of people think snakes are like gonna come after you, but they're not. They really are more afraid of you than we are of them. So I'm going to tell you where they come from, how they live, and also a bit about their personality. So a little background of them. Of the python family, the ball python is the smallest, as I said. It'll only grow about 3 to 6 feet long, which 6 feet is very seldom. According to Melissa Kaplan, who is the author of Herp Care Collection, ball pythons are easily tamed and very reluctant to bite, which a ball python bite is actually less harmful than a cat bite or a scratch. So, with that said, I'd like you to meet someone. Oh crap. That's all right. This is Timmy, and he's just a baby. Like I said, they come from West Africa and Central Africa. They're shipped over, that is their natural habitat. They live in grasslands, the savanna, and also partially wooded areas. They're quite partial to trees and are actually really great climbers. I actually lost one in my room once and found it on my window, up at the very top, which I don't know how she got up there. But they also, when they're sleeping during the day, because it's very hot there, they will sleep in mammal burrows and also old termite mounds. They can just curl up in there. The physical appearance, as you can see, this is a royal python, which is the basic look of most ball pythons. There are different breeds, there's different morphs, as you can see here. This is the regular python at the top. They're black with brownish, light brown, almost green tinge to them with spots around them. The albino is one of my favorites. It's just has the yellow spots. And then this is called a piebald. It's got the leucistic book, which leucistic is down here, and this is my favorite. They're completely white, and a lot of times they will have blue eyes. And then this is also called a clown. It's clown pastel. It's usually a little lighter than the regular. But they're also noted for having very fat bodies, and these are around me. Anyways, they're very fat bodies and very small heads. Okay, he doesn't want to get off. All right. So, diet and eating. They're classified in the same family as other pythons and boas. Gosh. And this is how they hunt. They have very bad eyesight, actually. But they use these, they're called the labial heat pits. And what they do is they actually sense the heat of their prey, which is small mammals like rodents. Mice and rats are usually what they're fed in captivity, but in the wild they can eat amphibians, other snakes, birds, lizards, and then of course the small mammals. But since the small mammals are warm-blooded, they sense the heat with these heat pits, and it's like seeing an infrared. That's how they see most of the time because they have poor eyesight. And they also use the Jacobson's organ, which is at the roof of their mouth, which they use their tongue to, they stick it out and they get the particles on their tongue, and when they bring it back in, then the Jacobson organ will translate that into different meanings of their surroundings. And as you can see, this is is one of the most interesting parts to me. They have no fangs, and they barely have teeth, which is, I think, quite interesting because most of the time when you think of a snake, you think of fangs and something that could hurt you, but their teeth are more like splinter size. And I've been bitten by him a couple times because my fingers are about the size of his food. And he'll mistake them for that, and it really is just like getting a splinter, and it doesn't hurt, which I like because sometimes there's accidents. So in order to eat their food, here's one eating a mouse. It's just a lab rat. They're bred for this. But as you can see, they'll coil up and take this S shape, and they'll strike at the mouse, which takes literally less than a second. The camera can't even catch that. And they'll coil around it tightly until it suffocates or bleeds internally. And as soon as it stops breathing, the snake will start to engulf it through its mouth, and it will swallow it whole, bones and all. It won't chew anything. It'll just swallow it. It always starts at the head. And as you can see, not only they can open their jaws up to 150 degrees, and they can stretch their body. You can see this is where normally his body would stop, but they can stretch it about 2 or 3 times their regular size to get that into their stomach, where they will digest it. Another interesting thing about them is they shed. Mine usually shed about every 2 to 3 weeks. Their personality. They're very friendly snakes. Pythons are extremely curious and gentle, which makes them great pets. And I have another one here. This is awesome. This is Coco. She's my favorite one. But they're extremely gentle, and if you're interested in getting one for a pet, I would suggest going through a breeder rather than a pet store. But they're really sweet. And so hopefully now I've covered where they come from, how they live, and their personality, so you won't be afraid of them.